Okay, guys, how you all doing? Hope everyone is fine. Okay, we are supposed to continue with our term 3 topics before I move into 16.4, which is the human reproductive system. I want to recap a little bit on the plant's reproductive system. Okay, the whatever I'm going to discuss here is going to reflect directly into your notes which I've already provided you. Okay, not to worry, I've already prepared the PDF form of the photostated copy which I've given you all. It's going to coincide a lot. Okay, please watch this video carefully because this will be followed by dissections. Okay, certain parts of the dissection I'll give you instructions, so you will have to follow the instructions there. Okay, now what I've drawn for you here is a plant reproductive system, and it contains both the male, which is labeled as the stamen, and also the female, which is every other part. Okay, now let's focus on the female portion first. You have the stigma, you have the style, you have the petals, you have the ovary, you have the ovule, and from the other side you have the nectary, and also you have the sepal. Okay, now first of all, look at the stigma. The stigma is where you will get the pollen to stick. Okay, this is where pollen will actually stick, and then the pollen will actually fall into the style. Now when there is pollination, only then the style will be formed. Now the style function is to send pollen to ovary. Now in the ovary, this ovary has two distinct functions. One is to contain ovule, next is to form fruit. Okay, from fruits. And now the ovule itself, first function, forms seed or stone for big fruits like mangoes, durians, and so on and so forth. The seed itself will be covered by a thick and hard and fibrous covering, and once it dries up, it becomes very hard, almost like a stone. That's why they call it a stone. Okay, next, this ovule also contains genetic material, which means whatever adaptations that the plant did over its time will be transferred to the seed itself, so that the seed will send it to the progeny. Now let's look at the male part. Now the anther is the one that will produce pollen. Okay, and this anther part is quite important because this anther is the one that will be very useful when it comes to the insect pollination part, which we'll discuss later. Now the filament only function is to hold the anther up. Okay, now filament function will become very important when it is about the wind pollination. The wind will become the vector. Okay, now in whole, you'll see that the male and female has its own function. Okay, now one of the most important function of the flower is the petals. Okay, the petals. Now petals are a little bit tricky because you have the nectary here also, and also the petals. Now some petals are white, dull, but it has nectary there. So because of the presence of nectary and gives off a nice scent like jasmine, that will be one of the flowers that we will dissect later. Okay, now if it has a nectary and has nice scent, a pleasant smell, that means it is insect pollinated, so it will interchange slightly a bit. Okay, now for petal itself, the petals will protect its whole structure. against wind and also the elements. Before the flowers developed, it is the sepals function, okay, but after the flower blooms or partially bloom, the petal itself will be protecting the whole structure, the whole reproductive structure of the plant. Okay, now the nectary itself, the nectary will produce both the scent and also nectar. Okay, so there you have it, the whole portion of the flower. A few moments ago in the video, I've discussed about the different portions of the flower, which means the components of the flower. Now the flower itself will depend on two different kind of pollination method. One is the self-pollination, another one is the cross-pollination. So in order to know the difference between the pollinations, okay, we need to know what characteristics that we will be comparing. We'll compare the characteristics of the petal size and color, the filament length, the presence of nectary, the variation and adaptation, and also what kind of vectors. Now normally for self-pollination, okay, according to the PDF notes which I've already given you, you will see that there are different criteria to determine which is self-pollination, which is cross-pollination. Please refer to your PDF, and this will be one of your questions that you will be attempting later on. Okay,